The Prentice Alsop Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at WGNSSports.com.
The Coaches Show is brought to you by Parks Auction Company. Let their team of experienced and professionally trained staff utilize the auction process to sell your property. Find out more at parksauction.com. Danny Brewer, so happy to be here and joined by Stewarts Creek head football coach Ben Caudill. Coach Caudill, how are you?
Doing well, Danny. How are you?
Fantastic, sir. Fantastic. You know, I mean, we just got to keep it all in perspective, right? I mean, we got a wonderful September day. You know, we didn't get all that rain. Stewarts Creek won last night. I mean, come on, it's great, right?
Yeah, no doubt. And my oldest son celebrating his 7th birthday today. So I want to start it off with a special happy birthday to my son, George.
Oh, George, happy birthday, Big George. You know, Curious George, I bet he is, right?
Yes, sir.
At 7, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about last night's game. Friday the 13th it was. And how about a scary good performance by a kid named Jerry Taylor? 10 out of 14, I think, with 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, Jerry had a great night, really threw the ball well, and just did a tremendous job of, getting our offense into a rhythm on the road, which is something that we said we wanted to do. Second road game, our first road game against Blackman, we did not play well for 4 quarters, played well for about 3.5 quarters, and that was our message at halftime. We left 2 scores on the board inside the 10-yard line twice in the first half, and had 1 touchdown overturned, so very disappointing to leave what we felt like was 14 points on the board, but we came out and did exactly what we wanted to do. Not just offensively, but on defense as well in the second half.
So let's talk about that second half and a scary good 20-point third quarter. You kind of blew it open there.
Yeah, it was a big third quarter for us, executing, starting with our defense. Other than, one big long drive, that we had several backups in on defense. I'd have to go back and check. I think that was the only drive they crossed the 50-yard line on, and our defense, just put us in great situations all night. We really controlled field position, and that's, I feel like where our offensive success was able to start. In third quarter, we were able to, execute on some things that we'd been working on this week. And so really proud of not just the offensive, effort there in the third quarter, but, really the situations that our defense put us in as well.
Well, when you hold a team to Rockville to 7 points, I mean, that kind of speaks for itself, right?
Man, I tell you, Rockville is super talented. That senior class has 4 guys that are going to play Division I football. There's only about 20, 25 guys in the nation that are going to Georgia, and one of them goes to Rockville. And I thought we did a tremendous job, blanketing him last night when he was on offense. I thought we also put him in conflict on defense. Really proud of the effort of both sides of the ball to try and minimize his impact in the game. Number 1's been offered by Florida. Cavante Porter, how many players in Middle Tennessee get offered by Florida, out of state? So it speaks to the talent that those 2 young men have. They got 2 Division I linemen. Bo Bryan's going to MTSU, and I think 55 for them. Sounds like he might end up at TSU or UT Martin. I think he's got the best feet of any lineman I've seen on film all year. And so, needless to say, our defensive effort and the job they did last night was huge against a really, really talented Rockville team. I think their quarterback is super dynamic. Thought we did a tremendous job against him as well. And so very proud of the effort in all phases of the game to execute against a very, very talented Rockville football team.
So, Coach, let's dig into that defense a little bit. Starts up front. Talk about your line play last night.
Very, very excited about those guys. We had one guy, Bryson Hayes. He has started. He's a senior for us. He started every single game since his first sophomore scrimmage. Woke up Friday and had some health issues and wasn't able to play. And so very proud of just kind of the next man up mentality that we had up front. Very proud of Jonathan Waller, Julian Albright, our nose. Julian had to miss 2 practices this week to say his final goodbyes to his grandfather. And so just playing with a full heart last night. I was so proud of him. Jonathan Waller, Keelan Harris, Grady Harvey, Daniel Johnson at outside linebacker. I thought he did a tremendous job, had his best game this season. And then I want to give a shout-out to Cannell St. Soir. He was a captain for us last night at corner. Wasn't able to play against Blackman, but he was following number 2, Jalen Morgan, around last night and did a phenomenal job. So couldn't be any more excited about the effort from our defensive players and staff last night.
Talk about how you run to the football real good. I mean, and you team tackling and talk about that a little bit.
There's one play I think that stuck out to me from last night, and they threw a hitch that we missed a tackle on our sideline, and we chased them down, stripped it down, and we had 3 guys, running from the far side of the field that landed on that fumble on our sideline. And if they weren't sprinting to the ball, that thing might have gone out of bounds. And so the effort from those guys, the schemes that we put in place this week and executing our fundamentals from our defensive staff, very, very proud and encouraged by the work of those guys, not just last night, but the last 2 weeks.
When you see things like that, it makes a coach's heart grow, doesn't it? Running, never giving up on a play.
Oh, no question. I mean, your offense feeds off of that too. When you're starting at the, near midfield almost every single possession, I mean, that's huge. And our kickoff team as well. I mean, I think their average starting, field position was around the 20 or 15-yard line. I mean, our kickoff team did an incredible job. So very, very proud of, all 3 phases last night. I thought really, kind of came together, especially in the second half.
When you have an effort like this, like I said, once again, Coach's heart grows, beaming, because the 3 phases, that's what you want as a coach, right?
Yeah, well, I think more than anything, we realized we did not, we didn't play very well, especially offensively in the first half. I felt like we dominated, total yardage, and, we just didn't execute inside the 10-yard line. We got out-physicaled. I made bad play calls. We just didn't get the ball in, inside the 10-yard line twice. And so, still being able to put up 27, and really feeling like we missed out on, 10 or 14 points, was it was just really encouraging to see how we responded in the second half.
Talk about yardage. Jeremy Smith, I think 98 yards rushing. How about that kid?
Yeah, Jeremy, he's able to impact the game in a lot of ways. I think the biggest thing, from last night is, he made several tackles on kickoff. He's on our punt team as well, and just a tremendously unselfish player. Thought he made several plays last night, that allowed us to extend some drives when we were in some bad down and distance situations. So really proud of his effort so far this season, and also from last night.
Of course, we understand Rockville is not a region game, but to me, it's a neighborhood game, because all these Rutherford County schools, and I mean, I like it that the teams that don't play, you're in Rutherford County and you still play other Rutherford County teams, non-district. And I think that's great. Talk about going to your neighbor's yard and coming out with a win. How about, what kind of building block is that for you guys?
It's our first of 3 straight road games, so that's certainly something that we emphasized this week. We felt like we let a 2-digit lead at halftime at Blackman 2 weeks ago get away from us, which was very disappointing. But how we've responded since, I feel like that first half of the third quarter at Blackman has been very encouraging. Really proud of our leadership, really proud of our staff for making some adjustments. I think we've made some great adjustments on defense since, the third quarter of that Blackman game. And so just proud of our leadership. I think our leadership and players, deserve all the credit, when you're able to go on a road and play against such an incredibly talented Rockville team and execute the way that we did. I'm really proud of our players and their efforts and executing.
The goal of every coach is to get better every week. Coach, are you there? I mean, it sounds like it's headed in the right direction for sure.
Yeah, we definitely, have some things we need to work on from last night. I was like I said, I think we've got to work on, some of our red zone offensive stuff. We kind of changed some things up in the second half, I thought, which really helped us. But the biggest thing is, I thought that we executed and did the things that we were trying to do to limit their playmakers and kind of take away some of their strengths on defense as well. So I'm really proud of our staff and getting that taught this week and putting our players in a position to be successful.
So you mentioned 3 straight road games, one down. The next up is Cane Ridge. Important because region starts this week.
Well said. There's we've had 4 games, and I'd trade all 4 of them for, success this coming Friday night at Cane Ridge. It's a very difficult place to play. I hadn't played there since 2017 in the playoffs, and their locker room is about a half mile away from the field. Obviously that school and program has had a lot of success the last decade. They're going to have a lot of talent, as always. I've watched a little bit of them this morning already, and it's the region opener. Really nothing else needs to be said. I know our players are going to be really focused, and it's a region opener on the road as well. So, we're going to have to enjoy last night, but get back to work very quickly.
They are a natural grass field. Does that play any factor, you think, at all, Coach?
Normally once a week, for whatever reason, if there's a soccer game or a middle school game, we're on our practice field. And so, we do various other things on our practice field at times. And so, it's going to be the same surface for, both teams. And so, we're excited about the opportunity to open our region schedule on the road, and certainly a very formidable opponent. And Cane Ridge has a lot of success in recent years in our region and has won the region certainly more often than not. So going to be a great challenge for our team this coming Friday.
Coach, anything that you do differently? I mean, sometimes guys don't, and I'm not asking you to show your cards here, but sometimes you don't always do things, or you work on things in the preseason, what we consider the preseason before district. Anything different that you think? You got any other things up the sleeve that you think may unveil this Friday?
Yeah, we work on things every week, and you're never really sure what you're going to need and how a defense or an offense is going to adjust. You're always going to see something maybe that you didn't prepare for. But yeah, I mean, it's region time. There's no reason to keep anything from being shown at this point. And so really excited for our team and for what they've been able to accomplish up to this point. But like you said, it's the start of a new season this coming Friday night at Cane Ridge.
Coach Ben Caudill doing great things. The creek is rising over there, I'm telling you, man, and he's the guy who's driving the boat. Coach, doing a great job. Appreciate your time. Wish you the best of luck.
Thank you. Go Red Hawks.
The Coaches Show is brought to you by J. Mullins Jewelry, a family-owned and operated business treating clients like family since 1938. Jewelry design, repair, and a wide selection of great jewelry pieces online at mullinsjewelry.com.
Rely on the experienced professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air.
Whether it's